Although most of us have never seen the thick black goop that our society literally cannot live without, we've been using things made from it our entire lives. Sure, we all know that it's polluting the earth or whatever, but then again, we're not gonna go back to using wood, water bottles and horse carts anytime soon. Ever since we decided to start destroying our planet with petroleum, it has taken over literally every aspect of our lives. From the moment you're born all the way to your death because of air pollution, you're constantly using it as plastics, fuel, medicine, roads, and eventually artificial exoskeletons when we lose the robot war in 2035. Petroleum was formed millions of years ago under the ocean, and it all started off with death. The death of thousands of sea creatures to be exact. When they died, they sank to the bottom of the ocean and were covered by their dead family members in sand. This continued for a while and the pressure on the fish kept increasing. Under the temperature and pressure, the fish turned into a black liquid. But enough about my cooking. Eventually, millions of years later, we started pulling it out from the bottom of the ocean and now our entire society depends on compressed dead fish juice. Humans knew about petroleum for thousands of years, but at first, all they found was tar, which if you didn't know is about as flammable as my grandma's ashes. So all people did is make houses and roads with it, and we still use it for the same thing because it can't be used for literally anything else. Then some guys in China decided to dig straight down and found some petroleum, but they didn't do much with it. I mean, if I started digging and saw some alien looking liquid trying to escape from hell, I'd just take the hint and go home. That's until someone tried to light it on fire.
Suddenly, people can now save the earth by not cutting down trees and instead use the new and improved petroleum for fuel. I'm sure that'll turn out great. People started using it for heating, lighting, and of course, because we can't go 2 minutes without trying to kill each other, we made the first flamethrowers and fire bombs. Eventually, we found out there was oil all around the world, and we started building oil wells everywhere we could, because we wouldn't be human if we didn't exploit every single resource on this planet. When the Industrial Revolution came along, it caused oil production to explode. Every single factory, streetlight, and literally everything else on Earth was being powered by this amazing product with absolutely no side effects.
I think I might have lung cancer.
Yeah, it's probably nothing.
Then World War I and World War I, this time with nuclear bombs, happened, and wouldn't you know it, all those planes, trains, cars and tanks were fueled by stuff made from oil. So we started building even bigger refineries to supply for the war. But when the war was over, we had all this extra oil lying around. So what do we do with all this?
I don't know.
Wanna burn it? And so we did. Lots of it. Cars, planes, buses and any vehicle that could go faster than me trying to run were all running on oil. Some guy decided to heat some in this totally not suspicious device and managed to create some, which was the first plastic ever invented and was also the first time the inventor had a stroke. So if you didn't already think that oil was the second coming of Christ that was gonna save us all, you can now make anything you want with it. Plastics are cheap, last for thousands of years, weigh less, don't corrode, are pretty strong, can be made into any shape. So in less than a century, we started using plastics almost everywhere in our lives, and to do that, we pumped out more and more and more oil every single year. And because global warming wasn't killing us fast enough, we decided to speed up the process by fighting wars here, and also everywhere else, just to get some more oil. And that's where we are now.
Oil became so popular because it has a lot of advantages over other fuels. It takes less oil to produce the same amount of heat as coal or wood, and it's also really cheap. At least until we run out and Mad Max becomes a reality. God, I can't wait. The Earth is mostly water, so there were sea creatures dying basically everywhere. So now pretty much every country is near an oil reserve, so nobody's gonna bother using solar panels when there's free energy right next to them. Even if the oil is a bit far away. It's also easier to transport because it's a liquid. You can't really build a pipeline for coal. Oil is also slightly cleaner than other fuels. It doesn't produce toxic gases, or at least gases that won't kill you right away. But although it might be cleaner, burning oil still produces carbon dioxide, so you'll just take longer to die because of global warming. This carbon dioxide also leads to damage to the ozone layer, which might be good to have around considering it protects us from cancer. Getting the oil out of the ground is also quite dangerous, and oil rig workers have one of the most deadly jobs in the world. Also, humans generally aren't considered the most careful creatures on the planet, so sometimes we might spill a little oil here or there, or all these other places. Unfortunately, this causes a lot of birds and fish to die, because, as it turns out, they haven't evolved to live in ancient fish liquids.
It might seem kinda dumb to build our entire society around something that could very easily not exist tomorrow, but that's just how it is now. As oil reserves continue to run out all over the world, the logical thing to do would be to just stop using it as much, but we're just gonna find some more. I don't think drilling new holes in the ground for oil is gonna be safe for the environment, but we don't really have another choice. If only we had another way to go places that didn't need oil to run and is also cheaper than a car. Oh well, guess I gotta keep using my 17-seat limousine every time I leave the house.